Hey everybody, Dan Pixel here. I am recording this on Sunday night. It is May the 7th. So we just got through week 2, I think, of both regions. And I want to record this as sort of like a preamble to the video you're about to see. What you're about to watch is a review that I did after the first weekend. Or maybe this one was earlier in the weekend. Okay, this one was Dallas. So this was the Dallas game. I recorded it the night after they faced Hangzhou, and then they faced Infernal after I recorded this video. So some of the things feel like they don't carry over. I'm going to do a little bit about the Infernal game later, because there were a few moments in the Infernal game that I wanted to point out that Dallas was doing that still give me hope for them, even though that was like kind of a rough game. But this one in particular, like, I really feel like Dallas did a lot more than the 3-1 scoreline indicates, and I wanted to share that with you all, even though it, got worse, or appeared to get worse after I recorded it. So this is just a preamble for that. Anyway, if you enjoy the sort of content that I am creating, like, subscribe. I don't really have a big YouTube following. I'm sort of trying my hand at this, seeing what works. And feel free to leave comments below on what you like or, maybe want some more of. If there's a match that you want me to do specifically from this particular weekend, let me know. I'm going to be looking over all of them. I know there were a lot of 3-0s, but I feel like I saw some really cool moments from a lot of teams. So anyway, enjoy this vid. Just know that I recorded it a little bit before the end of the week, so it's a bit dated now. All right, enjoy. Hey everybody, Dan Pixel here. It is now May 5th, 2023, and this morning, the Dallas Fuel lost to the Hangzhou Spark 3-1. The interesting thing about this particular game, though, is that Dallas Fuel almost exclusively ran Junkerqueen. Now, this isn't that surprising in and of itself, right? We've talked about this before. Hanbin is well known as an off-tank player, probably the best off-tank player active, and maybe the best off-tank player of all time, so it's not surprising that he wouldn't want to opt into the Winston mirror. There are a couple of moments from this match that I really wanted to draw attention to that give me faith for the Dallas Fuel as a whole this season, even knowing that Hanbin may not be leaning into some of these main tank characters. There's also one other thing, and that's what we're starting on. We're starting at Antarctica Labs, and I want to check this because we already skipped. I skipped the first submap because that was a 100-0 wipe of the Dallas Fuel. This submap, however, was, I believe, a 100-0 wipe of the Hangzhou Spark. And I wanted to look at this one particularly because Labs, what is this submap called? I'm looking this up because I know Icebreaker is the boat, and this isn't the boat, and then Labs was the first one. So the other submap, Antarctica, Eco Point Antarctica. No, not Eco Point Antarctica. Antarctic Peninsula. The submaps are Sublevel. This is called Sublevel. Sublevel sucks for dive. This fucking comp. Hold on, is my cursor showing? Bollocks. Hold up. What's capturing this? YouTube, here we go. Properties. Capture cursor. Okay, maybe it is showing. There it is. This comp that they're running here fucking sucks on this map. Like, just look at this point right here, right? Yeah, you've got like these high ground zones that you can stage around to do dives, but like keep in mind that you're looking at the mirror opposite on the other side. So if your Ana like stages up here, they're pretty safe. Like they're pretty egregiously safe. There's a second high ground over here in this area on both sides where like Fixa posted up with the Seoul Dynasty or against the Seoul Dynasty last week or yesterday. When was that? I don't remember. Last week. Anyway, like, there are these areas where you're pretty protected from Winston dives. It's hard for, like, the Sombra to path up and get there, and it's even harder for the Tracer to get there. Now, I think eventually this season we might see this evolve into a Genji dive because of the sheer, like, verticality problem. But Genji's just not in a good place right now, and Tracer's just generally better. The ultimate is definitely better. I'll talk a little bit about that in a Vegas Eternal review where, like, not important right now. What I want to cover here is just how Dallas Fuel utilized this map to their advantage, because it's going to be a thread that carries through the other two maps that I want to look at. So again, Dallas Fuel are running this Junkerqueen comp. They're keeping Tracer Sombra, which I do like. Even though Hanbin's not a dive tank, these two can support each other, right? They have the opportunity to give the follow-up to either the hack or just a really nice one-clip. Like, they're in that position to do that. And even to a certain extent, MCD is more than an Ana would be. And also, because they're not running a shield or any kind of mitigation, the Kiriko here gives you some resistance to the Bionade dives that this comp loves to do. The downsides. Ana is fucking awesome. No nano is pretty rough. But it's harder to dive this backline. It's harder to dive this entire comp, quite honestly. You're not really diving them unless you force an EMP onto the Sombra or the Tracer, right? You can hack the Lucio, but that might just force Bell, and then dive is moot. So this comp, you dance on a knife's edge with it, but there are win conditions. There are some comps I've seen that have no win conditions, really, or have like one win condition. This one has several, but you have to play it so well. But if you're the Dallas Fuel and you have the best Junkerqueen in the world, bar none, like, Hanbin has to be the best, right? I think, hold on, I'm turning my light down. Hanbin, another way. Yeah, there we go. It was driving me crazy. My face was getting shiny. Hanbin clutched, and I will never forget this play. It was the play where I was like, man, if he had been in the whole year, he would have easily been MVP. Like, I mean, he was a top candidate for a reason. But Hanbin has the singular clutch potential of the Junkerqueen. He just wins unwinnable fights. Anyway. So, because they're in this comp, they kind of have to be together a lot more to get benefit from Bliss. But that also is instantly a dive denial. They're going to take high ground here because they don't have any verticality otherwise. Now, here's the thing. Because it takes them a while to get into position, they are going to get heavily flanked. They'll take their time with this. You can see MCD like feels it, so he already starts like throwing scouts over here, like those throwing scouting kunai. Really nice evade by Shy. However, he bumps into him, and they know the jig is up. This is maybe an ill-advised hack, but it is the correct hack target. Doesn't get it off. They peel back immediately, and Shy is forced out. That's a great start. Now, with Shy out, the dive is kind of denied, and they just rotate down to the point now that it's open. The Hangzhou Spark didn't get what they wanted. Edison with a fucking beautiful hack onto Guxue. This is the thing. You're not diving with this comp. You are denying the dive. This comp just says, fuck your dive, so that means you're going to be doing the striker thing, right? Hack the Winston, burn the armor. Smart of Guxue to get out. But again, even though he's like kind of well staged up here, he's safe from the hack and the poke now. What does he do? Right? He's not going to get his full value. He wants to go onto Bliss. But right now, like, I think this is Shy over here. Shy's trying to get back in position, but it's going to be really hard to get to Bliss, and Edison just gets I think that's a hack onto Leave, or Leave just trolls. Leaves fine, and then, oh, Sparkle sandwiched him. So that's a really great two-piece there. He probably didn't even realize. Look how far away Edison is. Probably didn't even realize that was happening. So there's part one of your dive denied. They do get their setup, right? The win condition is hack the Lucio. So they do hack Bliss, and they do dive at him. I think he gets out, though. Like, yeah, he just drops to the low ground, and now you can't follow up with that dive because now you're staring down the Junkerqueen and the DPS. So that's really good, really good rotation and positioning from the Dallas Fuel, and their plan went off exactly as they wanted it to. You'll see this a lot. When Dallas Fuel get to do their plan the way they want to, it's like nigh unstoppable. The only problem is this has lose conditions against this comp. I'm not going to talk too much on those. I just want to talk about the Junkerqueen stuff. Yeah. Once this was done. This was done. Once they failed the hack, it was done. So now here's the other part. The first fight is really important for the team running Winston because they need to be holding these positions and inviting people in for the trap, right? Because you're not going to be able, it takes you so long to set up the good dive when you don't have the position. And if you take too long, Hanbin will just walk at you and you will fucking die. So now that they don't have this position, this is actually really rough for them to try and get a good dive onto Bliss here. Because again, Bliss is the only diveable target. Unless Shy gets like a good hero play, but his TP's already been destroyed, scouted out from Edison. Edison was on fire this particular map. Edison had a very good Sombra this series overall. I just want to point that out as well. So yeah, again, Dallas Fuel will stage the high ground so that they're not going to be easy to dive on the point from the high ground coming in, these stairwells. If they try and peek this like this smallish window right here, which is you can already see where Leave wants to set up, the higher high ground, it's still going to be difficult, right? You don't have a good visual on this top ramp or what the fuck ever you want to call it, this top pathway. And any way you come in, you're still going to have, like, if they feel like they can win it, because Hanbin's in a great position and they have the right cooldowns, they'll just walk on you and win. Displace you. You try and run as Winston. Hanbin throws Gracie into Hanbin and just pulls him back. Or if they feel like it's not winnable, they'll just drop to point and have the fight on point. And they'll win the fight on point because they'll be clustered. It's so fucking smart. Rush is cooking. And see, they like don't like what they see over here. They can't find Bliss, so they're just like, okay, we'll rotate down to point. Leave's going to contest, and that's going to force Sparkle down. This is a bit of a trap that Sparkle walks into. Shy was there with Leave. That's really... I love this DPS front line. Did I get him? Yeah. But he survives this, I think, right? Yeah, the hack doesn't last long enough, so he uses Recall, even though he gets a little bit of peel, I think. Meanwhile, Edison has hacked Gushue, because they're not going to let him follow up on that. Like I said, your targets are Bliss, or maybe you get a lucky hack onto the DPS, because MCD is going to be hard as fuck to kill, and you're not going to do that much to Hanbin either. The other thing you need to do, and this is something, again, the Justice did super, super fucking well against London. If you run the Sombra into the Junkerqueen, you need to be hacking all of her Carnages. Specifically the Carnage. The Carnage will get her the longest sustain, even because the Shout, you're not going to hack the Shout. It's too quick. But Carnage has a huge windup. When you hear that start to go, you hack the Junkerqueen, and suddenly she becomes a lot squishier. But because they failed the hack dive and Gushue got hacked and poked, they have to pull out and reset up. That's the problem. They have to reset up. And now Edison's chasing them down. This is kind of a troll. I don't know why Mmonk dropped here. I saw this happen and I was confused. Mmonk kind of threw this one. I have no idea what he was doing. Hey there, it's me again. I just wanted to pop in here and say, while I was editing this video, I realized why Mmonk ended up on the low ground. What I missed while I was recording that was Hanbin hit Gracie into Mmonk and pulled him down to the low ground, thus opening up that fight, getting the kill confirmation. I wanted to draw attention to this so that you guys just didn't think I was going to slag Mmonk. I, again, want to point out, Hanbin, good at Junkerqueen. Who knew? Anyway, back to it. He just dies. Bit silly. Shy does get MCD. Was MCD hacked? No, he just got poked down. He got double teamed. Doesn't really matter though. MCD is going to be pretty quick to come back. That was just a free fight because Mmonk kind of fed. And then again, trying to chase down the Sombra. Shy's just building that EMP. Shy also beats Edison to EMP every single map this series. He just fucking laps him. He's taken the lip train of the lip school of thought, which is just shit out damage for fast EMPs. He's not as fast as Lip, but he's still up there. Okay, Sparkle came up here to try and take the high ground, but Leave wanted to stage up here. Leave really loves this room because high ground is Tracer. When you have it easily accessed, is super invaluable. Sparkle does get out though. Leave looks at that, realizes he can't chase it down. But again, look at Dallas Fuel's positioning. Immediately after they won the fight, they went back to the high ground. They're going to hold up here in the open. They're going to tease where Bliss is to show you how fucking safe he is. And then they can't do anything about it. Shy is going to try and run back up there. Mmonk can maybe thread the needle nade, but without knowing how he's moving, it's so hard to predict. Every single win condition that the Hangzhou Spark has is basically neutralized by their positioning. It's so good. And this comp sucks on this particular submap. Okay. Again, looks like Edison went in to try and get the hack, but he got scouted this time. Sparkle again, holding this side of the high ground. Leave goes down to contest. Sparkle's not falling into the trap this time. Hanbin does get hacked here. This is a slight mistake. The hack is a little too early, right? If you want to burn the Junkerqueen with a hack, you need to hit it when they hit Carnage. And not a moment before. Because then she'll just use her cooldowns and get a little pocket. Big nade, though. Yeah, you'll do more damage, but if you don't hack Carnage, she will survive. Especially with this particular backline. This probably forces nade, right? Yeah, or sorry, not nade. Suzu. So Suzu to cleanse the purple. Sparkle sticks Lengsa because he had such great positioning. Lengsa was wide open. Because I think Lengsa positioned up over here, like where I'm circling in the top right, in that one open high ground. And that's from where Sparkle was staging. Easy double blink. We saw Prophet do it yesterday. It's like, maybe that's why Fixa chose the higher ground, because he knew that that was a possibility. Or why he's like postured up like on this highest high ground, like the ledge a little bit. You see the supports doing that on this map. But it just wasn't enough. That's another fight lost, 83% on the board, and like, you've got all these ultimates that you've never had the chance to use because it takes so long to set up a dive. They're gonna get one last fight, maybe, if Leave survives, which they're chasing him down, so he doesn't. Which he gets out. Okay. But, oh my god, MCD just kind of clutches that there. Was that a recall? How did Leave end up back over here? Oh, he recalls. Oh, that's so unlucky. He just recalls and walks right into that. Do they touch? Shy's got to be in range to touch. He died pretty early, so he's probably going to get... Yep. So now they don't even get the fight they want. They have 4.5 ultimates, because Rally's going to come online if it lasts, and they're not even going to get the fight they want. And Hanbin just fucking rampages down main. They don't have the Rally to counter. He only catches Mmonk, but that's enough, right? Now it's 3v5. You don't have... The Nano got canceled? Oh, fuck. Or did he hit Lengsa? No, the Nano got canceled. That's how fast it was. He might have gotten hacked out of it by Edison, which would be just a stupidly good play by Edison. But again, the point of this map that I want to drive home before we move on to the King's Row map is number one, sublevel fucking sucks for Winston dive. Figure out another comp or you're gonna get rolled. The only time teams are winning the Winston dive on this map is when the other team is mirroring them. Somebody has to win, and it's honestly, most times it's not the better dive team. The better dive team struggles on this fucking submap without fail. Like, look at the fact that like Boston Toronto in Pro-Am, Boston couldn't do what they wanted to do. And they lost out really quickly because Hydron just was unbothered because it took so long to set up the dive. Or the Soul Showdown. That one was a weird fucking game, but it wasn't, neither team was setting up good dives. It was so chaotic because they didn't have the ability to set up good dives on this fucking sub-level. It's tragic. It's an awful, awful map for dive. Don't play it. Play Rush. Learn Junkerqueen. Something else. Try Sigma. I don't know. I don't have an answer, but dive loses on this map. Okay. I want to look at King's Row. We're going to spend a little more time with King's Row. Yeah, it's just done. So, King's Row, again, this comp. Now, at first I was like thinking they were just running this like Kiriko Lucio shit because they didn't... You see these kind of comps with like badly coordinated teams, but that's never been Dallas's problem. But then I remembered that the problem is like Sparkle's on this, so it's not because of bad coordination, right? If Sparkle was on Reaper and Hanbin was on Winston, then I would be like, something's up with the Dallas fuel. Because that comp just screams you're struggling to gel. But this comp requires a lot of timing and precision and a lot of planning to win on this map. And by the way, this is the map that Dallas Fuel win. You can argue it was because of the back cap, but I actually, when we get close to that, I want to have another look at it. So, I think Spark ran Rush on this. I think they ran Reinhardt. They ran Reinhardt Rush, maybe because they they saw the Junkerqueen, recognized that the Winston comp was going to struggle, and immediately swap over to this. Shy loses a little bit of value on Cassidy, except it's fucking Shy. So Cassidy's nerfs are a big issue, but still great in Rush. I probably think Hangzhou, Sim, or Bastion are all stronger options, especially Sim particularly because of the high ground control, but Hanman is actually already dropped. The other point I want to make about this is Junkerqueen sucks on A. Junkerqueen sucks on point A. Point B, though. Okay, so they just walk in for free. Edison's just up here, unbothered. Dallas scatter. This is interesting. Look at where they've positioned. Look at where these two are. This is interesting. Okay, so the Lucio and the Cass. No, wait. No, Cass is over here. The Lucio Sombra have perched over here on top of the hotel, and MCD and Hanbin are here. Edison's moved over here to catch them as they rotate. They're not going to let themselves get walked on because they know they'll just die, right? This is the better... Spark have the better rush comp. But they wanted to set up Edison in a place where they could get to the backline quickly, and look who else can get to the backline quickly from this position. They're not going to have to go through the Reinhardt to do it. They can go right through Hotel. They're just waiting for the rotation. This is kind of a low value hack. I'm not sure why Edison got that hack, or why he went for that one. Maybe he meant to target Gushui, and it just locked onto the wrong person. Hanman's just taking a shit ton of damage. He's not going to live this. Or will he? Wow, good cooldown usage to survive that. Oh wait, sorry, why did I say Sombra? The Tracer was over there. I was literally looking at Edison's screen. Y'all must have been losing your minds at me saying that. So Sparkle, hold on. Where did Sparkle go? Did Sparkle try to collapse? I have no idea where Sparkle went in this fight. Okay, no, Sparkle went through Hotel to try and pressure Mmonk, and that's why Mmonk rotated to the left. Okay, I understand. Yeah. Edison's trying to farm this nano, or not nano, this EMP. I think he's going to find diminishing returns really quickly at this range, though, and not to mention all the armor. Because otherwise he's not really being very effective. He's just being safe. It's like he's waiting for something. But I'm not quite sure what. I don't have faith in this win condition. They do break Lamp, which is good. But they've given up a tick already. And then Shy is just out here clicking head. Edison gets Mmonk. Okay, so he was waiting and he did get Mmonk. But Shy is Shy, and don't peek Shy. Don't peek Shy. Don't peek Shy. I mean, yeah, they just lose this one. But again, A was always the point to lose. A was the point that it's like, you're not going to win if you are this composition. MCD just duels Shy and wins. Pays for it with his life. Gets the bad spawn. Okay, now Sparkle has swapped over to the Reaper, and MCD has swapped over to the Brigitte. This comp is a different comp, and the Dallas Fuel are about to put on a clinic. So Lucio Brig was popular in the actual Junkerqueen meta because you layered speed, you layered sustain, you had two ways to answer the rampage. The constant AoE healing was exactly what you needed, the throughput rather than the burst. It's why that comp kind of felt bad, because nobody died, because everyone was just constantly taking healing. Reaper Sombra in this is really, really interesting, and I thought this was a throw. I saw this and thought they'd given up. Because look at what they're running that into, right? Reaper's not going to do a hell of a lot against Gushui with all of that armor. But as it turns, and like Shy could just click your head on your way in, and Reaper has a fat head hitbox. But obviously there's the benefit of it having a lot of burst damage up close, just like Hanbin does, right? Edison following up with a hack. Like, this can put out a ton of damage, and the backline can do a ton of damage if they all get into close range. Which is what these guys want to do, right? So how do they handle this? What are they going to look for here? If you are the Dallas Fuel, you kind of want to get them a little ways into streets. Like, this is still too open for you, right? This is just too much open space. Shy has too much room to work. You need to get the most effectiveness out of Sparkle and Hanbin. You need to get them in close quarters where they can't get away. You kind of want to bait them to come into you a little bit and have them burn their cooldowns to think they're going to get a kill and then counter them. All right, they get the hack onto Lengsa. Look at the speed of this rotation. Where they were on the high ground before, they now come down and around. Edison, again, takes the high ground. He does this a lot on this map. He takes the high ground to get the hack, or to put pressure from a safe distance, because otherwise they will walk on him. They control this health pack. They want to move on to him, but Edison's got his TP over here where the team's gathering. So now he translocates back, and all of them are staged up here, ready to go. They're taking their time with this. They don't. I started to get worried because of all the space they were giving up. But they were waiting for this. And now that they have the EMP, I think this is just a 5-man. Big EMP, sort of. Lengsa counter beats. Shy takes the most. Shy also doesn't get the benefit of the beat. They need to get confirm on him instantaneously. Really, really fucking great ice block by Leave, by the way. He dodges that entirely. Beat comes out, gets onto everyone. That's a problem. Now what? Now what do? You just burned your fight-winning ultimate, and now you're in deep shit. Edison gets out with his life. Sparkle Wraith forms. So that immediate chance to kite is dead. Or sorry, that immediate, like, counter, gone. These two guys, that's the other thing about these DPS. They have really good survivability. You just have to be quick with the cooldown. Look how close Hanbin's getting to this rampage. So they don't get the confirm. They'll move back over here into the aura healing of these two. Instantly regain their health. They bring them around the corner. Whiffed Shatter by Gushui. And, or maybe he gets hacked out of it. I can't quite tell. I think he lands it, right? He just misses. Yeah, he just misses. That happens. You'd think it would matter because he had a free shatter, but just misses. Gets hacked on his charge. That which probably saves Sparkle's life. Hanbin or Sparkle. That's a really great play by Edison. Now Hanbin has the ult. Hanbin sees the fucking bowling pins. Because again, the EMP was kind of their big play, but it forced the beat. The beat's their only tool to deal with the rampage. This comp has no other tools to deal with the rampage. Did they need to beat that EMP? Probably. But because they forced that, which is maybe why he hacked Lengsa before. There was no point in diving, but it told him that Lengsa had the beat, so he's like, okay, we'll do this. They EMP. Hanbin now sees the fattest rampage of all time and just hits it. Bam. 5-man. That's it. That is a fight winner. Leave throws Blizzard to try and zone them back out, but the follow-up is here, right? Enormous. You can argue that maybe Leave shouldn't have done that. He gets it right as the Reckoning hits. There's a chance, like, I understand why Leave threw this Blizzard. If they could zone the damage, they had a chance, but they all were in, like, super speed mode. Just easy cleanup. Okay, 2 ultimates to regain control of the cart at a very beneficial position for them. Now what? Now they stage. And this, I think, next play, or the play after, is one of the gnarliest plays I've ever seen. I think it's the next one. This one's pretty good too, right? So again, you just blew 4 ultimates to 2. And keep in mind, like, this one was the really costly one. These ones are fine to use. Like, this gives you some advantage, but they have speed boost. They can just get out of the way. This one was a big loss. Like, not having the Blizzard kind of sucks. I'm not sure they could have done anything with the Blizzard. Gushui not hitting the Shatter is probably game-changing. This is really good. This is really good from them. They know that if they try and run down main again, they'll walk right into the trap, so they go around the side. Sparkle's just like, hi, I'm here. And in turn, the Dallas Fuel smell the rotation and flip the script. So now Sparkle takes a little damage. Doesn't get his Wraith form forced, though. They're in. Edison's come around the back. Because he's a sneaky little fucker. Bliss decides, knowing that there's no ultimates to deal with him, they're just gonna beat engage over this. And if you beat engage with this team, and you can just farm without fear of, like, just any damage coming into you, this is gonna be a mowdown. Really nice wall to cut off the Brigida. That's heads up from Leave. Leave has a decent May. I would never have guessed. I mean, I should have guessed. So, they've already burned the lamp instantaneously. Kind of sucks that we just got that POV for a few seconds. Okay, Leave gets his ice block forced. They're still trying to get out of this. Gushui gets hacked. Shy could just change the flow of things by clicking heads like that, just like that. And now Edison's off the table. This is now very winnable for the Spark, so MCD is forced to rally. But why wouldn't he? Like, what? Rally's just like, this is exactly what Rally's for. He's not saving it for anything that this fucking comp has. So, they rally. Death Blossom comes out. They're like, you spend all your ults, we'll spend all our ults. And Edison is on his way to another EMP, and Hanbin is 60% to his next Rampage. Yeah, Jesus, look how fat that was. What were his cooldowns at when he had that? So he had the shout, and that was it. He was about to get Carnage back online. He had the knife active, so bwamp. He takes a lot of damage. He shouts immediately. He waits for them to walk into him, and I think he Carnages here? No, he doesn't need to. I mean, he just didn't need to. Hanbin's so good at Junkerqueen. Okay, this is the play. This is the play that is, like, perfectly encapsulates the fucking Dallas hive mind. This is it. This is the play. I lost my shit at this. So look at where they're setting up right now. Gushui's coming in around the corner. They still are holding on to this Deadeye because it's fucking worthless. The Brig and Junkerqueen, which was how you won in Junkerqueen meta. Junkerqueen and Brig paired together, Lucio and Genji paired together, and your hit scan did whatever the fuck they wanted, and then you had 2 killing death squads who could do whatever the hell they wanted, and then your hit scan was untouchable. That was how you won at Junkerqueen meta, and that's why Glads were bad at it. They didn't get that. Okay. They know they're coming down main this time because look how far back the cart's moved. They can't do that big rotation anymore because they'll have to fight just to get to the cart. They no longer have an advantage by going through the back ways. So they have to fight in center street. Sparkle is TPing over here. Edison has taken this ledge yet again. Yet again. Edison, this is Edison's spot over here. And the other 3 are going to stay up here. Watch what happens as they roll in. Sparkle goes deep. They turn. Immediate hack onto the Baptiste from his perch. This was such a gigabrain set play. Hacks, communicates. Sparkle sees the hack, and before he has a chance to think about it, Mmonk is dead. Mmonk is fucking deleted. Hanbin was looking for the lamp, and as soon as it came out, it was gone. You can't dive with Junkerqueen per se. That is the cleanest Junkerqueen dive you are ever going to fucking see. Again, look at this. They knew exactly... They had a specific target. They had a specific window. They knew exactly how they were going to do it. They drew their attention up here because Hanbin and MCD and Bliss all showed over here. They were like, hey, look at us. Look at us. We're over here. While Sparkle dropped into Hotel, turned around while Edison got this perfect hack from behind them while none of them knew it was there. Even Gushui didn't know how to peel this. Lamp comes out here. Lamp doesn't even last a second. Doesn't even last a second because Hanbin and Edison and MCD and they were all looking for it. And now you don't have BAP against another rush team who has incredible sustain power. You're going to lose so much time on this fight. You get a counter pick. It doesn't matter. You lose so much time. You lose so much time. And again, this was like, what, a 5.5 minute time bank? Boom. This is a good switch from Shy to an extent. I think Shy needed a switch. I'm not convinced Reaper was the play. I think Reaper makes sense in this comp because of how they want to play it. Reaper in Rush, in this particular Rush, is going to struggle a little bit, but I think they've understood that they have to take these close engagements. So how did Dallas do this next one? Now they're just standing forward because Edison has the EMP, and Shy's dead. And Shy's just dead, right? Like, Spark want to deathball this because they think they'll win the deathball now because they frankly have the better rush comp. And they do. They have the better rush comp. But now the alt cycling is online. Edison EMPs, enormous EMP, and it's just done. He just obliterates Shy from behind, and that's another teamfight win. You lose another 30 seconds. Your time bank has dwindled. And this is starting to look really bad because now what? Leave through Blizzard there? Did Leave open with Blizzard? This one's maybe a bit more questionable from Leave. I think this one was a bit more questionable. This is a pretty bad Blizzard from Leave. Because speed boost, Wraith, Translocator. You maybe catch one if you're lucky, but you're still hacked. I don't think that was the play. I understand the impulse, but I think he was trying to do it and the hack like threw off his timing. Not it. So that's costly. That's super costly. Positives? 3 backline ults. Tank and support. Now, Lengsa has to be extremely careful with this. Because Hanbin now has another Rampage, and they have to know he has another Rampage, right? This is a good rotation. I love this. I love this recognition from the Spark. And this is something that, like, the Spark are really good. I'm really happy with where the Spark are this year, especially with, like, the players they have. This is an amazing recognition that they're like, okay, we need to take this high ground away from Dallas. And we can just walk on them. That's a tight choke. Like, we can funnel through that. They can't spam us out. They can't do anything to us in there. They'll have to give up that positioning. Dallas, know this. Rotate back. These guys are just too slow, and now the cart's in a bad position that they have to fight back and engage upon. They still have a little bit of an advantage, though, just because they've got this close, and there's no real answer. Hanbin probably won't Rampage unless it's, like, really, really good, because he knows Lengsa is going to beat it. If he sees a fat one, it might be... Yeah, okay, I was about to say, if he sees a fat one, it might be worth it just to force the beat. Which, it is a fat one. It's a 5er. Or 4. I think Leave dodged it in the ice block again. So, 1 cooldown forced. Lamp's forced. Lengsa's hacked. The Lamp should let him get the beat off, though. Okay. Excellent play by the Spark backline. Excellent play by the Spark backline. That was threading the needle there with Lengsa's HP. He almost Ajaxed. But here's the bad news, right? Here's the fucking awful news about all of this. The beat had to counter the Rampage. Otherwise, it was a non-starter. Sparkle now has the Blossom again. And now he's just waiting for you to burn out all... I mean, just Gushui. He didn't even have to worry about Gushui. Does Gushui not get the beat? No, Gushui got the beat. He just gets pummeled by Hanbin. Oh god, and now it's just like extra over. Yeah, Sparkle was waiting for the beat to die out all the rest of the way. Oh, man. This is how you play Reaper in this comp. And again, I've said this before, I don't think Reaper is a high skill ceiling hero, right? There's not a lot of like Reaper's expression is limited in the highest echelon. Like, I don't think you'll find that, you know, Decay's Reaper is much better than Sparkle's Reaper, is much better than who's another like big Reaper player, Striker's Reaper, or Happy's Reaper, or any of these like really talented high level players. Doa's Reaper. Doa has a like good Reaper. It's all about how you move with Reaper. That is really like the skill expression. Sparkle's been really good on this, but it's like there's a cap to how good you can get with Reaper. But his value is undeniable. He just has such high value because of his survivability and damage. Okay. Now the card has moved too far back for them to try that same wraparound again. Alt tempo is again kind of shite for them, though. Shy will get Blossom, but Mmonk swapped. Mmonk was just tired of getting bullied. Maybe he senses Edison's on another EMP and just knows it's not going to be worth it. Gushui's got a free Shatter still, but the backline alts are online. So they're just like, okay, we'll go down main and see what happens. Sparkle is just waiting for them to walk past. Nice wall to zone. That's a really nice wall from Leave to zone Hanbin. They're working on breaking the wall. I think MCD should have really tried to do line of sight more. This might be too late. Okay, wow. That was almost too late, and now they're forced to layer their support alts here. This could get really bad for them, especially if the Shatter is big, which... giga big. Big Shatter. I guess they both would have died instantly if they didn't have their ultimates. I think they still die for it, though, right? Like, yeah, like... maybe a misplay by MCD there, but really Leave hit the fucking perfect wall. Now, Gushui does take a lot of damage. Shy's hacked. They know he has Death Blossom. He probably didn't need to do that, I don't think. I mean, maybe they're desperate. Like, okay, you spent Shatter. The only tool you have left here is the Death Blossom. You just forced Edison out? There's no more ultimates on the board. I think Shy just felt pressured. He dies for it, too. That's a bad ult from Shy. But again, like, Reaper is... it's not like a high skill hero. It's not like he's you know, doing Sojourn or Widow. Like, it's not the same value. But it sucks that he uses that, because now, I think in this final fight, this EMP and EMP Rampage, one more fight, Spark don't win. Spark cannot win anymore. They have the Blizzard. What do you have to hit the perfect Blizzard. But it doesn't matter because EMP cancels Blizzard. Like, you can't go first with Blizzard because Edison has EMP. Ever since they made that adjustment, I don't know how many Mays have figured this out yet, because it's probably not, that interaction hasn't come up very often. EMP cancels Blizzard. That's a patch, that's a buff from like 2 patches ago. If Leave gets Blizzard and throws it to zone them, Edison's like, okay, EMP and EMP on your whole team. You get no value from that ult, and now you all just die. And if I remember correctly, Leave doesn't even get it out. Like, I think they manual hack him and burn him. No, they EMP first. So it just doesn't matter. He stood no fucking chance. Maybe they knew Leave had it. Or maybe they just see Leave has it here. Yeah, they see immediately Leave has the Blizzard. Right? I don't know if you guys know this. When you hack someone now, you can see if they have ultimate or not. Which is a really cool quality of life change. Anyway, so Leave has it. Hanbin is rampaging through the EMP, hits Leave, hits Gushui. It's not the fattest in the world, and I think, does Mmonk fade out of it? Yeah, Mmonk doesn't fade out of it, or he fades into it. That's just unlucky. I mean, it's done. They had no way to win. They had no way to win. It was simply impossible. Once Shy lost that Death Blossom, they had no win condition. They had no win condition. Leave being fractions away from that Blizzard hurts too. But even if he thrown it first, that EMP would have just deleted it. So that's just bad luck. Okay. Let me see this one. Because this is the one where like Shy just... oh man, that is so good. Sparkle came in just like... They were... Oh, Dallas Fuel Hive Mind is still active, y'all. It doesn't matter that Hanbin sucks at main tank, or sucks at main tank, or that he's just not as good as the other main tanks, maybe is the better way to put it. Dallas Fuel will find the way to make it work. They'll find the way to make it work. They're so good at it. Okay. So... no changes out of Spark. And there's no reason to, right? This comp is just better on point A. Now, here's the thing. Spark may not know this, but they need to hold point A. If they don't hold point A, they're very likely to lose. This comp, as I said at the beginning, has so much more value in the streets, but this first point has so much high ground. We watched the Titans just fumble their way through an A attack, and they ran Echo Tracer, I want to say, with this, which makes no fucking sense. At least they're running Genji Symmetra, which feels fucking weird, but like the high ground is the problem for this comp. This is a really good adaptation for it, and you have the best Genji in the world. So. Yep, so look, here's the TP. They go right up to the high ground, and now the biggest advantage of the Winston comp is taken away. Now, I think they get split here? No, they're all up there. Maybe, yeah, they're all up there. So, this is so good. This is so good. Like, this is what Dallas do. Dallas take unwinnable matchups and turn them on their heads. They've done it for 3 years now, or 2.5 years. Whatever the time frame is. It's beautiful to watch. So now they have the high ground. Eventually, like, Spark are kind of chill with this right now because they know eventually Dallas have to come contest the point. Edison just waits until his TP comes back up and they go directly onto the back line. They go into hotel. They feel it coming. Gushue gets Bliss in the rotation, though. That's pretty bad. You kind of hoped they had gotten inside of the hotel, but they kind of got stuck outside of it. I think Gushue accidentally body blocked them, but because you have the Genji, if you get someone low enough, the cleanups can start to come through. And Hanbin's going to keep living. He pays for it with his life. Okay. And Hanbin's dead. But they're not going to swap. They're not going to swap, right? This comp is just, oh, they are going to swap. Sparkle goes over to the Tracer. I thought he would stick on the Genji. Maybe he didn't feel like maybe he felt Spark spread out enough that he wasn't going to get the damage or the benefit of the dash resets and wants more neutral damage. Because maybe they had the call where it's like, okay, you know what? If we had a little more damage in that fight, we could have won. And they might be right about it. But now position... So here's the fun thing. Spark's positioning's fucked now. They can't set up for the dive because they got the full team wipe, but not everyone's back yet. So Sparkle goes in. He's forced to recall because of the hack would have gotten him killed. And he's back out. But Edison, again, is still in the Symmetra. They're going to look for... Okay, there. Again. Teleport again. Behind them. Spark, we're not ready for this. MCD goes to turn on the back line. And the rest of them collapse onto Mmonk, who didn't get the nade off. Or maybe he already threw it in this fight? I want to see this. I want to see if Mmonk already throws the nade. Because that's the count. We saw this in the Soul game, right? Skewed got dove upon by the Symmetra on Icebreaker, and he just drops a 5-man ante that wins them the fight. Doesn't look like he's thrown it yet. He might have just missed. He might not have just not realized it was happening. It did take Skewed to the second time around to figure it out. So they turn around behind them. No nade. Just burned instantaneously. Oh, he sleeps Hanbin. That's what he does with his time. Wrong order. So he sleeps Hanbin. Hanbin's up. Edison pays for it with his life, but they've picked Mmonk. Shai's EMP is going to be massive, though. Holy shit. And that's the thing. This Junkerqueen comp is weaker, but Dallas are brute forcing it. Dallas knows that they can just win this tempo because they have spawn advantage, if they just keep hammering at it. And Spark have had no time to think or set up their next fight. The only thing that saved them there was Shy getting that EMP so quickly. Edison has now officially gone over to the Sombra. So now, in 2 fights... I wonder how much of this was intentional. If this cycling... Because I wouldn't be surprised. What they've done is rather than just run this comp at first into this comp with their full 45 seconds of setup, in 2 fights, they forced them into a shitty low ground situation where they don't have good dive setups and good peeking. They've bought all this free space to just walk onto the point, and now they're in the comp that they want to be playing for the most part. I think Sparkle will still be better served on the Reaper as long as Gushui's on this Winston, but maybe the Tracer has like a little more value just because they want to get on this backline a little easier. Anyway, Gushui gets hacked to deny the dive. Sparkle sniffs out leave. Gushui is forced to jump back. They know he has Primal now. Edison translocates. Hanbin just keeps posturing up on the point, and now Sparkle is starting to hound Leave. Leave had his recall forced just a moment ago. He's still got a long bit of time. And again, another hack on Gushui. Just watch his armor. He's like kiting back, but they're like, again, the hacks are on Gushui to stop him from going in. Sparkle manages to get a recall with 1 HP left, and now the good ult is online. Rally's not online yet, no EMP. What do you run against this? Kiriko ult's really strong here, and you're in a position where it's like, oh shit, everyone's in the open. We have to give up this space or we die. Gushui primals, gets hacked, doesn't get anything because this fucking Kiriko rush with this comp is just gonna... his health evaporates. He goes in, tries to get some value, Sparkle sticks Lengsa before the rally comes on. This chaos is where Dallas thrives because they know they're at a disadvantage and they're just going to keep upping the tempo because they're going to do it better than you. They've known each other for too long. Even MCD. MCD's an old Element Mystic player, if I remember correctly. Like, this is just incredible from Dallas. The tempo that they're playing at is fucking absurd. They took 3 fights in 3 minutes. So that's not that, like, much, but the way they spaced it was just enough that Spark never had a moment to breathe, never had the moment to reset up in their dive defensive positions. Now they will be able to do it here on point B. So, what I expect to see out of the Spark is utilization of those high ground locations. Yeah, you can see already Gushui's jockeying up over here. As they're getting into position, they might not find that that one's that important. They might go to the same place that Boston likes to hang out, over here, on this secondary high ground. Yeah, Shy and look at this. Shy and Leave are pushing up here to try and retake this side of the space because they want this location. And MCG just catches Shy. That's bad luck. That's just bad luck. And now they're in deep trouble. Edison gets the hack onto Gushui because they don't want them to try and dive because that's the... Again, hard to dive, but like, don't let them do it. Just because it's hard to get single pickoffs here, and even when they, and especially when they don't have the Somber, just don't let Gushui play his game. Don't let Gushui go in where he wants to and take up space there, because the second he's in, he's going to cause a lot of chaos. Edison's having a great game. Shy does have a better game overall, but like, Edison's having a great game. Okay, look, they're staging up here because they know that like they'll have to take at least one more fight and they'll have to take it around here. This is so smart from Gushui, by the way. Once he knows that that like stick is in, I was like looking at that. Gushui's name tag looked like an upside down A, but the U is just has a marking through it. Anyway, this is so smart from Gushui. Once Hanbin gets this knife, he knows he can't jump anywhere. So rather than try and jump in the backline, he just drops down and engages Hanbin to try and force him to pull the knife out. Once that happens, Gushui now immediately jumps back. Winston Brain. Winston Brain good. That was so smart from Gushui. Anyway, Hanbin has the ult. The problem Hanbin's going to have here is, number one, Lengsa has the rally. And two, they're going to stage up high. They're not going to cluster. They're not a rush comp anymore. Hanbin's going to find it a lot harder to get value here. But it doesn't matter already because they fucked this dive up again, and they're going to get so much free space for it. Edison has the EMP. He's calming that they're rotating back.
Because this is free push. They're not forced to use any of the ultimates until they can basically touch the point.
Shy gets poked out. EMP falls first. Shy does hack Hanbin. When does he hack Hanbin? I want to see this. I want to see the motion. Hanbin is getting hacked here. It's again just a little too early from Shy, right? You want him to catch on the rampage if you can, but I think I think it'll be fine anyway because Leave is immediately there because Leave and Shy are a great duo. EMP comes out, only catches Gushue. I think he thought it would hit Leave and Leave just was protected. Hanbin might die for this though. Oh, but he still had Shout. Hanbin still had Shout. So now Gushue is gonna die, right? Yeah, I was gonna say Gushue does not live with 2 HP. Mmonk hits this nade onto Bliss, but the dive is dead. They'll posture up, but it's not over, right? It's not over yet. Edison gets Leave. A high ground rampage. Linksa does rally, so it forces that out. Pretty gnarly. But this is a bit question mark, I think. Edison's down. I mean, I guess you're hoping they follow you down. Because right now, Edison, there's no follow-up for this. Yeah, that was a bit optimistic by Hanbin. That was a bit optimistic. If he had stayed up there, he would have forced them to the ground, but because he fell off the edge, he wasn't able to do anything. And now he and Sparkle are going to get EMP'd by Shy. I think they probably die for this. Yeah. Rally's too good. Hanbin gets out though, right? I think Hanbin gets out of here. I don't know what Hanbin's do. Oh, wait. Hold on. I was like, why is Hanbin not getting out? Like, Hanbin had a way out. He probably would have paid for it a little bit, but, like, Gushue's not back. It's because Edison and Bliss are still here. So he still thinks this is winnable. I don't agree, but Hanbin knows better than I do. Okay, so so now Hanbin's bugging out. Okay, so it was a rescue mission. I understand now. Hanbin wasn't bugging out because he was waiting for their attention to get pulled. Because Edison had a free get out of jail card and Bliss is going to be hard to catch. So Bliss goes back, saves Hanbin, gets him up the Dude, the teamwork, the fucking no man left behind of Dallas Fuel. Oh, fat nade. Bliss is dead. Great play by Mmonk. Great play by Mmonk. That Mmonk just like, that was huge by Mmonk because if they don't clean this up, there's another big fight coming in the place, and you'd have Dallas Fuel deep inside your defense with all the positioning they could ever ask for and really hard to dive defensive positions. Yeah, so now MC's just going to die for it. Okay. Resetting now. Shy. So they burn Pulse Bomb, they burn Rally, but they now have Primal and Nano online. Oh no. Oh, Shy. Edison has your number. And look at this, he's getting ready to engage. As soon as they're like, he's here. When you see this as a Sombra and you're this deep, you're like, ah, oh, shit, here we go again. Suzu saves Bliss. They're like, this is a worthwhile investment, and he dies, right? He pays for that, right? Oh no, he just gets out. Wow. They nano Shy. I remember seeing this. I think they win this fight. Yeah, they win this fight. They have great nade. They have good presence. Even though they get that advantageous play, Nano Shy, even on Sombra, is fucking horrific. Like, his aim is real. Like, it looks like shit aim, but like, he just farmed his EMP off of that. He was like at 60%. He now has his EMP from that play, and he gets out. Edison gets out. Sorry. Edison's down in the subway. That's really clever. Anyway, that's like, I mean, that's really huge, right? Bliss does have beat, so they have an answer for it. But Edison's found it yet again.
situation for Dallas. They just have to be able to reach the payload.
Dude, Edison was on one this game.
Enable this fight with a Kitsune rush, but remember on A, the Kitsune
Shy's waiting to engage.
through with barely any
They decide they're done waiting. They break the translocator. Sparkle almost gets that pulse. Doesn't do anything though. But they're just being allowed to walk in here for free because, I mean, what are they gonna do? Okay. This play is the one that I wanted to look at because Avril calls this out on cast. They're like, why would you throw this Kitsune rush here? And I also thought that was weird. I thought that was desperate from Dallas. Or that they thought Spark was going to engage on them so heavily that they'd have to fight them there. This is so far away from the cart, though, that like Spark could have just disengaged. Right? Here we go. They see Lengsa. Yeah, maybe because he saw 3, they're just like, okay, they're here. So he throws this over here. I want to see where everyone is. He's got Guxue, Lengsa, and Mmonk in front of him. Bliss is with him here. He's almost dead. Hanbin needs to get the benefit of this to get up to the rampage. Over here in the background is the DP. I'm not sure if Shy or Leave is over here. I can only see like the barest markings over here. Sparkle's engaged with them, and I'm guessing... Okay, yeah. It looks like both the DPS are over here. There we go. Okay. Oh, interesting. So the DPS, the entire front line was rotating around. They've abandoned trying to push card just to come up here so they think they can get this, they can use this Kitsune rush and get a confirm onto Guxue. I think they would have much rather had it down the stairs, which was a possibility. I don't know why MCD didn't throw it that way. I wondered if this was a feint though. Bliss beats over here. Like they're fucking committing to it. EMP comes out just before or just after the beat. Doesn't take away all the beat anymore, so that's less effective than it used to be. But it's still pretty big. Like it does a lot of damage. But Shy just gets annihilated by the rush. Okay, 4v5, both support alts layered off the cart. Nobody's on the cart. Everybody's over here. Guxue sees 4 in front of him. Lengsa gets MCD, which is pretty huge. And Guxue primals. Destroys Sparkle inside here. It is now 3v4. This part of the play is what I thought was interesting. I think this is specifically the moment they called edit. Like, okay, so watch this. That moment, that freeze frame right there. Watch. Okay. This is where Edison gets on card. This frame right here. They're down a player. The 2 of them are hacked. Bliss just used beat. Rampage isn't online yet. Edison is on card. Sparkle comms, these 3 are in here. Which is Leave, right? That's not Lengsa, that's, yeah. Leave, Lengsa, and Guxue are in here. Don't know where Mmonk is right now. But at this moment, Edison is on a cart. Everyone else is in here, except the Ana, who's not very fast. I have no idea where Mmonk is. Legitimately. Hanbin, so I think Hanbin and Bliss feed here specifically to keep them in here. I think this is a tactical feed specifically because otherwise Hanbin had no reason to go into this fucking room. Hanbin had no reason to press Q. Like, he hits Guxue. Big deal. Oh, I guess Mmonk is in there too, huh? Mmonk must have been inside there. I think he does all... I think him and Bliss go in here to hide the fact that Edison is backcapping. I specifically think they calmed this because eventually this is the moment Lee recognizes it. And it's been like 8 seconds. Hanbin gets antied. Mmonk just survives, but it does not matter. Bliss is here with the reinforcements, and that's all she wrote. Shy's coming back from spawn. Like, this is incredible. Honest to God, I don't know whether this... To this, I don't know if he meant to throw this here. I don't. This feels very weird. Is this all an elaborate bait? It doesn't feel like it. Like, they commit so much. It could be, though. Like, it really could be. Think how much they fucking committed to this fight. They layered support ultimates on this side. Edison was this close to an EMP. Look how close Edison was to an EMP, and there was a Kitsune rush there, and a Primaling Winston. He could have farmed that if he wanted to, but look how quickly, from the moment that this was thrown, between the throwing of the Kitsune rush, here, at 28 seconds, Edison gets on cart at... Let's see. At 18 seconds. Within 10 seconds, Edison was this close to an EMP and he didn't farm it? No shot. No shot Edison wouldn't take advantage of a Kitsune rush if it was meant to be there. Like, if Kitsune rush was down and everyone rotated around the back, like we saw them do, when this Kitsune rush went down, they all rotated up there, right? They all rotated up there and then Bliss threw beat. And Bliss didn't need to throw beat. He didn't need to do it. There was nothing... MCD was under pressure, but like he was 3 seconds away. He'd just thrown Bell. He was on the rush. He was about to get a swift step out. If they wanted to fight on the cart, they could have fought on the cart. Dallas chose this angle to fight the fight up here and committed major ultimates up here to draw the fight away from the cart so that Edison could go back unnoticed by everyone else, touch, and push it the rest of the way in. And to sell the gambit, to sell the fucking gambit at this exact moment, rather than disengage from a lost fight or wait for them to set up in a position where he would get a sick fucking rampage, Hanbin tactically feeds into this room with the Primaling Winston. Presses Q for no fucking reason. No follow-up. No follow-up. Edison knew exactly what he was doing. And the Dallas Fuel steal a map from the best team in APAC. Edison's relieved that fucking worked. That was deliberate. That was deliberate.
It's about staying on the objective, fella. Stay there and engage. Yeah.
Are there any replays from the end of it? Nah, this is the Reaper. That shit was dope, though. The Reaper plays were really good. That's the closeout. Okay. Last one we're going to look at from this series is not Rialto. That one was a good fight, but that was just a mismatch. We're going to look at Colosseo. Oh, hell. Oh, it's on 480p? What the shit? Ugh. Hope this hasn't been bad quality. I didn't realize it was on 480p for some reason. Okay. So Colosseo is a map where Junkerqueen can get a shit ton of value. Both teams know this, which is why Shy is coming out on the Ash. Shy is coming out on the Ash because Dynamite is fucking free against this comp. But because Dallas know their comp's weaknesses, watch how they play this first... we've talked a lot about how this first engagement on Colosseo sucks because of how the windows are. There's no chance for real flanks. Dallas Fuel know that Shy is going to come out on Ash. They fucking know it. It's unquestionable. So look how they position. They just don't. They're like, okay, we'll wait back here, and you will come to us. We are not going to engage in a stupid poke war with a long-range hit scan who will beat us. We will wait for you to come to us. And look how little value Shy gets out of that dynamite. Congratulations, you've zoned Hanbin. You're feeding their ult charge. You can't follow up on it, because if you go in there, they will walk on you.
Pretty good call if they want to do that, but I think push maps as well, generally speaking, you want to have some flank control, so
like, Shy has so many advantages in this matchup, but Dallas are simply just like, they're like, come to us. We're not going to fight upward. You will come to us. You can have this early push. We don't care. As long as you don't as long as they don't let this flank collapse, which is why Edison is here. Like, they can't zone around here to try and pressure them from the side and force them into the space they want them to. Like, this is so fucking intelligent. They're just like, you have to come to us. There is no other option. We are not going to move forward. This is where it almost gets away from them. Bliss gets caught by a dynamite. They're forced to use cleanse, but Shy can't confirm the kill because cleanse, and they get out of the way. And now they're back to this fucking game where, like, they know they can't move any farther forward. And Dallas are just like, you have to. You have to come play with us. Because we will not go to you. This isn't a stalemate. Dallas hold the advantage here. Because eventually, if this fight goes on for too long, these ults are better than these ults, and these ones are going to happen first. This one's going to happen so quickly, and it's going to be way more useful than this one as an engagement tool. Yeah, Nano, you're Winston. Go right the fuck ahead. He'll jump in. They will run away. You'll gain a little space, and then they'll just walk back on you with the rush, and you'll all fucking die.
This was on something like 50 HP. I think Shy just barely missed the headshot. It was a body shot instead, so...
Shy's bob is coming on very slowly, and Sparkle and Edison are completely checking this side angle. Gushue gets impatient. This is an interesting idea that he has right here. I think it's actually like, it's not too bad of an idea, right? He's like, okay, fine. I'm going to stage in a better place to hit your backline. And if you guys start looking at me, I'm going to buy that flank space for my DPS for leave. Where this kind of goes wrong is they take complete advantage of that. Because he went up to stage, they now know that they can just walk in on the flank. They're pretty free to do that now, and so they do that. And Shy explodes. Shy shouldn't have postured up here. I will say that. I think Shy needed to stay main with Lengsa, but he probably still would have gotten walked on. So it was just a bad shake either way once Gushue postured up there. Gushue had the right idea, but like Dallas Fuel were just so fucking ready for it. And now that Shy's down, your advantage is lost. You're going to get walked on, and you're all going to die. Because that is exactly how you use Junkerqueen to beat this dive comp. Now, here's where this turns into a problem for the Dallas Fuel, unfortunately, is it's going to get really, really hard for them where there's all this high ground. There's nothing they can do about that. This high ground is simply too good. I think they win a couple of these on mechanics. Like, look at this dive in. And immediately. So, what do the Dallas Fuel do? Rather than continue to push the bot into an unfavorable location for their comp where all the high ground and all the setup and all of the range favors this dive, they just disengage. They go back to their one position on the hallway that no matter what Hangzhou Spark have to walk through, especially now that Dallas have a 20-meter lead. They're going to have to do this again. Dallas just control this entire section. If I'm Hangzhou Spark, I'm going to start tilting. Like, this is so infuriating. You can't win this fight without putting yourself in a very risky position, even with these ultimates online, because now ultimates are online for the other team. And look what happens here. This is so, like... They posture up pretty far forward this time. They pressed her pretty far forward in center, and now knowing they have the weight of the ultimates, and because when they saw Leave move forward here, they realized the backline wasn't being checked, and so Edison is now going in. Look how quickly they collapse here. Shy is just dead. So they nano him. They're forced to nano Shy because they decided, like, okay, what if we pressure forward? What if we put all this pressure forward? Now Leave's not checking the side angle, and Shy is alone. Lengsa is in center, Shy is alone. Mmonk was the only one to save Shy here. Oh, and the stick. Just, it's so good. Dallas knew exactly what they wanted to do here. Do they win this, though? Leave has a good pulse. Oh, man, did he get, like, slept? No, he can't get slept. What happened to Leave here? Who did Leave stick? Leave stuck Hanbin? And Hanbin just walked into him? Yeah, I guess that's what happened. Did he stick Hanbin? I'm so confused. Sparkle's Pulse Bomb lowered Leave's HP to shit, even though he was nanoed. Leave sticks. No, it's just on the ground. Oh, and he must have recalled into it. He just must have recalled into it. That happens. Anyway, the Rampage is out now, and they're burned, and now Dallas's lead extends even farther. Like, I think Shy swaps here, right? You need to swap. You need to swap. Yeah. Basically, they're going to get out. So this is better in some regards. Losing, that's really heads up by Leave, taking out Bliss. They need to do that. Taking out the Lucio is the best way they take control of this fight. Sparkle already has another pulse bomb? Holy shit. Now like look how bad alt tempo is now. Primal, Rally. Rally can maybe save you here, but another pulse bomb could end that. Like, Dallas are in the driver's seat in a major way, but now they're finally in a fight that is not advantageous for them. This fight is so bad for them to take, even though, like, there's no more Ash. Because now, like, Spark, if they're patient, can just find the fight they want, and they get it. There we go. But then Dallas are so smart! Dallas are so fucking giga-brained. Look at this shit. Look at where they positioned over here. All of the rest of Dallas was under here. And they were like kind of contesting from here and here. Or like over in this side room. You can't dive into these side rooms. So they were at least temporarily safe. And they were going to stalemate them until either they got something beneficial. Edison probably like peaked a little too far. That was like maybe a little silly. Maybe he thought he would get out before the whip shot happened. But now that Edison's done, Spark is like, we've got this. So Bliss is like, okay, amp the speed, and we're going to go out through the center. Colosseo sucks as a map because there's this whole fountain area that really is never used because the bot doesn't go anywhere near it. So of course, it is the Dallas Fuel with Rush that use it as their release valve. And then they get another fight. And where do they get their next fight, you ask? Is it right here in the center? The place that Junkerqueen comps control much better than Winston comps? Now, credit to Spark here. Now that Shy is no longer on Ash, it's easier for them to control this zone because the flanks matter less. They don't have, like, they're diveable targets of the backline and they can peel for each other. So they're going to get aggressive with it. Sparkle gets hacked. Forces the recall. But Edison finds him, almost manually hacks him himself, gets that. Edison has a chance for a big EMP here. They're again waiting. They're waiting. Dallas are so patient. They're waiting specifically for the engagement to start. And they're doing it because they don't care about the ults. That's a great dive. Edison throws this EMP because he thinks they're all on him. This, whether by accident or by design, the Spark only sent in Gushue. Edison waited because he was waiting for this front line to move in upon him so that they could just mow them down once the EMP connected. The bad news was only Gushui was in on him. So he's forced to get out. Sparkle, however, sticks Lengsa. That's a huge play by the Tracer. And now because of that, they don't gain anything. Gushui is forced to primal for nothing. Does he even get out? Okay, so he's like, fuck you, and he goes back in. Leave did a lot here, but it's just not enough. Shy gets out. And Dallas increased their lead. Eventually, this turns. I know this turns, and I'm trying to remember where. Because I remember one mistake at the end. Like, Dallas should have won this map, but the end fell apart for them. Now, this is a good moment for the Spark. Shy gets in for free with the EMP. So now this position the Dallas Fuel want to hold is tenuous and they don't know it. They do have ultimates to counter, but they have to be so careful. This is a greatly... Dude, that is a perfectly timed dive onto MCD. That is perfect. Maybe didn't need to invest the nano, quite honestly, but fuck it. Bliss gets the beat, but it's a second too late because Hangzhou Spark. Perfect execution. I think Edison dies here, right? Frontline ults invested. Sparkle throws... Sparkle got another pulse. It is 5:01. Sparkle used his last pulse 1 minute ago. Sparkle was on one this game. Sparkle was just like, where did that jump happen? God. That was fucking quick. Anyway, that's the third like sub 1 minute pulse bomb he's farmed. Anyway, sticks Gushui, who once the nano wears off and gets naded. Did he stick Gushui? Am I crazy? Yeah, he sticks Gushui. So Hanbin, seeing that cooldown burned, throws Rampage, catches the entire backline. Mmonk is dead. Lengths is soon to follow, I think. Doesn't matter that Leave sticks him because he's just generating all of this health. He might die? That's like Ultra Instinct shit right there. Look at this. Hanbin got the moves. Hanbin got the aim. No, they'll take this bot. Push it back in the place they want it to be. Oh, if he'd hit that, Gushui would have been turbo fucked. Gushui is so lucky. This would have been... I think that would have been map ending if Gushui gets picked here. Gushui gets, like, they get another engagement because Gushui survives. And look at where they're pathing. They're pathing underneath. They're not going into a zone where they would have to cross into the open area of Gushui's dive. So they all go underneath. They take the time to do it. Oh, man. And look, yeah, again, Spark have no ults here. This is, like, bad. I'm stunned Spark won this map. Because Dallas Fuel are about to beat up on every other team in this bracket. They just fought like the two best teams. Seoul is the only other... The Dynasty? Oh, that could be close. Okay, Shy gets Sparkle here. That's big. MCD invests Rush and they lose the fight. That's pretty rough. They do get Gushui though. Wait a minute. Oh my god. No way they win this. No way they win this. Sparkle just gets caught the fuck out. He's behind them. Sparkle's behind them and just gets annihilated. So MCD throws Rush. There's no ultimates online for Spark. Guxue gets turbo burned by the entire backline. And Edison farms EMP, and now, win condition. Hits the remaining 3 members, only Shy gets out, and Lengsa falls. Hanbin's sitting on his Carnage. One thing that Shy might have learned from this is that he needs to hack these Carnages, because Hanbin is just being allowed eternal value. This is still heavily in favor of Spark, though. The spawns are too good. Losing Sparkle sucked. Oh, man. They're going to give up on this after investing all that? Man. Oh. Guxue was just back too fast. But anyway, here's where they go. They're going to go back. They're going to set up in the... What the fuck is this shit? Oh, Edison's back here from the spawn. Why was Lengsa back there? How did they know he was there? That's weird. Anyway, I guess Edison got forced out as well, and that's where they're like, we can't win this. We have to stop. Okay. Hanbin and Sparkle. Ults online. Full war chest from the Hangzhou Spark. This one is no longer like just winnable because of positioning. Hangzhou Spark just all have to press Q. They need to all press Q. I remember thinking they didn't need to do that, but they really do. The way Dallas are playing, I think they need to press all Qs and just fucking go. Guxue goes in deep. They recognize Guxue goes in deep. Do they collapse upon it? They nano... I think they thought the dive was coming onto Lengsa, so Lengsa gets nanoed. Lengsa rallies. EMP is out. The good news for Dallas is it all happens before they use their ults. So that's 3 ults for none. And suddenly, Spark don't even realize that they accidentally just opened the door for Dallas to come back. They don't know.
Too expensive. 3 ults. That's really bad from the Spark, unfortunately. Well, I say bad, it's not favorable. It's not what they want. You want a cheaper fight than that. Ideally, just an EMP, maybe 1 support ultimate. Now that you've lost both, you've lost, by the way, your entire ability to...
There's a neat little dive onto Bliss. I think he gets out, though. Yeah, great cleanse by MCD. Leave gets Bliss. That was such a good follow-up. Holy shit. This was a map-winning play right here. So, because again, they don't want to be out in the open. If they're out in the open, Guxue will leave, and Shy will hound them the fuck down. So where do they go? They path up high. They sense it. They know they're going up high. So, they get... Bliss peeks his head out too far, gets hacked. Guxue jumps in, nearly finishes him, MCD cleanses, very clutch. Bliss gets healed to full, but Leave blinked in so ready. It's amazing that was the only person who died. That should have been massive. Now this is where things are really tricky. So Guxue primals to buy space. Guxue primals to buy as much space as he can here. It's not enough though. And because they don't get any further damage and Bliss respawns so quickly, MCD throws the rush in and Hanbin rampages onto the cart. They immediately stop it just before it turns, and now this fight is very, very, very bad for the Spark. Mmonk dies, Lengsa dies. Now, you can maybe argue the rush was unnecessary there. Jesus, Hanbin. The rush might have been unnecessary there, but the fact that neither team has unlocked forward spawns is pretty good. Here's where it all falls apart. So again, Hangzhou Spark have no ults. They have no ults, and they're coming into a 3-ult fight. I'm pretty sure the Fuel win this one. MCD gets caught out. How does that happen? How does that happen? How does that happen? Where are they? So, Sparkle's over here at the side, little like stairway. Hanbin's underneath. On cart, I think, is the backline. Yeah, okay, so backline's on cart. No, it's just the Kiriko on cart. This is a bit of a head scratcher from Dallas here.
What they gotta do? Wait.
Where was Hanbin? This might just be a really heads-up play by Shy. They catch MCD in the one place. Oh, man. That is so unlucky. Yeah, they were posturing up. Okay, so they lose MCD. Pretty bad. That is, again, really great play from Shy. So now what do? They nade Hanbin, which is a pretty big denial. The fuel continue to kite underneath here because it is the best place for their comp, and they will always end up in there. Shout is invested, and they counter with the EMP. This is so dangerous. But they have the advantage. They might as well, right? Ushui gets out. EMP doesn't get a confirm, and Edison's forced out. So, bit of a panic. That's 2 ults for nothing. MCD getting picked kind of like... This is a little bit of a troll from the Dallas Fuel. And now their disconnect is pretty shite here. Now, like, I think Sparkle gets caught over here? Yeah. They just fumbled this one at the end. That's a very rare, like, Dallas fumble. But now because they've lost Sparkle and Edison, right? Like, they lose Sparkle here. Still recoverable, right? But they've just given up center line positioning and no longer have the ability to hold center like they want to do against this comp. And now, like, they get the front line, they get the back line out, but they know where Edison is. And Edison gets chased down. And now here's a big problem. Because they know, Fuel know that if they lose this fight, it's the game. They know the ult tempo is against them. They need to take a fight they can win, or not at all. And they don't touch, because they don't have either of their DPS. It's so tragic. The way this all fell apart was from a really nice hack from Shy, but then like their positioning was just fucking weird. They got caught mid-rotation, finally got caught mid-rotation, because they didn't go through the entire underground like they'd been doing. They just got caught. That is, this comp against this comp dances on a knife's edge, and Dallas Fuel played it almost perfectly, controlling all the right areas in all the zones they wanted to be. Right the fuck up until MCD gets caught in that rotation by Shy, who noticed it, heads up play by Shy, incredible. And then on the disengage, they stagger themselves out so goddamn badly. So badly. Because now you look at this, like, Fuel can't win. Fuel just can't win anymore. Losing control of the bot with 30 seconds to go against a full war chest of ults, you just don't win anymore. Like, Edison forcing that EMP when they were down and not getting anything out of it, this was just like a colossal stumble. Ah, you feel kind of bad. You feel kind of bad for them. They had this map in the bag. Masterclass of clutch potential from the Hangzhou Spark, though. Like, they should not have won. They simply should not have won. Dallas threw that away. But if you are a Fuel fan, expect more of this, because I think this has so much value when it's in the hands of someone, the team who can play it the best, which is Dallas Fuel. Because you have maybe one of the best Lucios, supposedly. I didn't really pay much attention to Bliss. He did very well. Hanbin is the best Junkerqueen. Sparkle's very good at Tracer. Edison is very good at Sombra and Hitscan, but, like, I mean, this is the super team, right? Okay, that's my review on the Hangzhou Spark versus Dallas Fuel. I skipped 2 maps because they weren't as interesting, and Dallas stood less of a chance in those ones. But I do want to point out that the Dallas Fuel, there's a lot of upside, and I think they're going to stomp on every other Winston team in this region. I think Infernal in particular will fucking struggle against this. I don't think Infernal have an answer. I don't. Obviously, that aged the worst. In my defense, Infernal ran Monkey only on Blizzard World, where Junkerqueen isn't viable, into a Diva comp. and then they just ran Rhine and Ram on the other two because they were better maps for it. I feel right in my opinion that their Junkerqueen can beat the dive. But yeah, this age, like, fine milk. Ugh. I think Seoul Dynasty will try other things. They might try Ball. They might even fucking mirror. They might just put Void in and mirror this comp. It's hard to tell, but I think Dallas are about to have a resurgence. Oh, you dullard. I will quickly edit this video. It's not going to go up before the second Dallas game of the weekend, but I think they're facing the Dragons. And that's like not really a challenge for them. Or maybe it's the Infernal. Either way, this is literally the same day as this, so I haven't seen anything else they do. Maybe I'm wrong, but I like what Dallas did. I like what Dallas did a lot. And I think there's a lot more coming. So, hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my content that I've been making, please like and subscribe. I will continue to make more of this. Most of them won't be this long, but, you know, that's actually not true. I'm going to have most of these like around an hour and a half, 2 hours. I will try to keep putting up shorter ones as well. But anyway, thank you so much. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time.